Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Have you ever been watching a flight online, only to see the price jump up the next time you check? Or have you and a friend, sitting side by side, discovered you're being shown two different prices for the exact same hotel room? This isn't a glitch. It's a deliberate strategy called surveillance pricing, and it's turning the digital marketplace into a place where the price tag is written just for you, based on what companies think you're willing to pay. Today, we're diving deep into this invisible world to understand how it works, who profits, and what you can do about it. First, let's get our terms straight, because words like dynamic, personalized, and surveillance pricing get thrown around a lot, but they mean different things. Let's start with dynamic pricing. You've definitely experienced this. Think of it as the market's natural ebb and flow. It's also known as surge pricing. When demand is high, prices go up. When it's low, they go down. Ride-sharing apps like Uber and Lyft are the classic example. Prices surge during rush hour or bad weather to get more drivers on the road. Airlines and hotels have been doing this for decades, changing prices based on the season, how many seats are left, or the day of the week. With dynamic pricing, everyone looking at that exact moment sees the same price. It's based on the market, not on you personally. But then there's personalized pricing. This is where it gets personal. Instead of adjusting prices based on the market, companies tailor the price to you, the individual customer. They use your personal data, your purchase history, your browsing habits, your location, even your demographics, to figure out your willingness to pay and charge you as close to that maximum as possible. For example, if you frequently buy expensive gadgets, a website might show you a higher price for a new laptop than it shows a shopper who always hunts for bargains. It's a modern form of price discrimination. And this brings us to surveillance pricing. This term has gained traction recently, and it really gets to the heart of the matter. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, defines it as pricing that incorporates data about consumers' characteristics and behavior. The name highlights the core of the practice, the constant, widespread monitoring of your activity to decide the price you'll see. The key difference is the source of the information. Dynamic pricing uses market data. Surveillance pricing uses your personal data. It's a world where your digital breadcrumbs, every click, search, and purchase, are scooped up and analyzed to calculate the perfect price to extract the most money from your wallet. So how exactly are they watching you? The architecture of surveillance pricing is built on a massive network of data collection. At the forefront are cookies. These are small text files that websites store on your computer. Some are harmless, like the ones that remember your login or what's in your shopping cart. But others, especially third-party tracking cookies, are like digital spies. They follow you from site to site, building a detailed map of your online life. Ever notice that after searching for a flight a few times, the price seems to go up? The airline's website might interpret your repeated searches as a sign of high intent and hike the price, betting that you're ready to buy. It's not just cookies. Even the device you're using can change the price. Some studies and a lot of anecdotal evidence suggests that if you're browsing on an Apple device, like a Mac or an iPhone, you might be shown higher prices than someone on a PC or Android. The logic? Owning a premium device suggests you have a higher income and are willing to spend more. This is called device-based pricing. Your location is another huge factor. Your IP address gives away your approximate geographic location, and companies use this for location-based pricing. A famous Wall Street Journal investigation found that the office supply store Staples.com showed different prices to people depending on how close they lived to a competitor's store. If you lived far from a rival, you were often shown a higher price because you had fewer options. This is also why services like Netflix or YouTube Premium cost different amounts in different countries. And what processes all this information? The brains behind the operation are powerful artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms. These systems can analyze mind-boggling amounts of data in real time. They segment customers into groups, like bargain hunters or brand loyalists. They use predictive analysis to forecast future demand based on historical trends and even external factors like the weather. and they perform real-time optimization. Amazon, for example, is reported to change its prices millions of times every single day, instantly reacting to competitor moves, inventory levels, and your behavior. Some of these algorithms can even track your mouse movements on a page to gauge your interest level. This isn't just theory. It's happening right now across many industries. The travel industry is a playground for this. Airlines have always used dynamic pricing, but they are moving towards even more personalization. In 2025, Delta Air Lines announced plans to use AI to set individualized ticket prices. A Delta executive said the goal is to have a price that is available, quote, on that flight, on that time, to you, the individual. Online travel agencies like Orbitz have also been caught in the act. In one documented case, a customer was quoted a higher price for a hotel after they specified the exact hotel name, signaling a strong desire to book there. E-commerce is another hotbed. Amazon is the master, its algorithms constantly adjusting prices based on a storm of data points. And, as we mentioned, retailers like Staples have used your location to charge you more. Even the gig economy is built on this. You know about Uber and Lyft's surge pricing, but there have been allegations that they also use personalized pricing, charging different riders different fares for the exact same trip based on their ride history or even their phone's battery level. Low battery might signal desperation and a higher willingness to pay. This all leads to a huge debate. Is any of this fair? From a business perspective, the argument is that it's efficient. It can maximize revenue, and they claim it can even enhance the customer experience by offering targeted discounts to price-sensitive shoppers. Some economists argue that by charging higher prices to those who can afford it, companies can subsidize lower prices for others, making goods more accessible overall. But the case against surveillance pricing is strong. For most people, it just feels fundamentally unfair. The idea that you and your neighbor pay different prices for the same product based on your data history feels like discrimination. And there's a real risk that these algorithms, which learn from existing data, could amplify existing social and economic inequalities, for example by charging higher prices to people in low-income neighborhoods. There's a massive lack of transparency. These algorithms are black boxes. It's almost impossible for a consumer to know if they're getting a fair price, or for regulators to check for discriminatory practices. This erodes trust. When you find out you've been had, you lose faith in the brand. And of course, there's the massive invasion of privacy required to make it all work. This digital panopticon, where our every move is tracked and monetized, is unsettling to many. The legal landscape is a patchwork. In the US, there's no single federal law against it, though the FTC has launched an investigation. Some states are taking action. New York now requires a clear disclosure for personalized algorithmic pricing. California passed a hidden fees law targeting related deceptive practices. The European Union's GDPR offers more robust protection, with principles of transparency and fairness, and the right to object to profiling. So, in the face of these powerful systems, are we powerless? Not entirely. You can take back some control. Here are some practical strategies and tools you can use to level the playing field. First, the basics. Regularly clear your browser's cookies and cache. This makes it harder for sites to track you, and can sometimes result in seeing a lower, non-personalized price. Similarly, use your browser's incognito or private mode. It's not a perfect shield. Your IP address is still visible, but it prevents cookies and history from being saved for that session. For more power, use a VPN or virtual private network. A VPN masks your IP address and encrypts your traffic, making it much harder for websites to know who or where you are. By connecting to a VPN server in a different country, you can often find lower prices for flights, hotels, and digital subscriptions. Next, become a savvy shopper. Use price comparison websites and apps like Google Shopping or Shopzilla. For Amazon specifically, Camel tracks price history so you can see if the current price is actually a good deal. You can also install price tracking browser extensions. Tools like Honey, Capital One Shopping, or Keepa can automatically track prices, alert you to drops, and even apply coupon codes at checkout. Try some clever strategies too. Compare prices on different devices. Your laptop, phone, and tablet might get different offers. You can also try the abandon your cart trick. Add an item to your cart, go all the way to the final checkout page, and then just leave. Retailers hate abandoned carts and will often email you a discount code to entice you back. Finally, don't be afraid to just ask. If a site has a live chat, ask the customer service representative if there are any promo codes available. The worst they can say is no. The rise of surveillance pricing is a fundamental change in the relationship between shoppers and sellers. It offers efficiency, but at the potential cost of our privacy and our sense of fairness. The way forward requires action on multiple fronts. Governments need to create and enforce clear laws that protect consumers from discrimination. Businesses need to act ethically and consider that the long-term cost of lost consumer trust can be far greater than any short-term profit. And as consumers, we must stay vigilant. By understanding how our data is used, by using the tools available to us, and by advocating for stronger privacy protections, we can help shape a digital marketplace that is innovative, but also fair and equitable for everyone. The digital bazaar is here to stay, but the rules of engagement are still being written. It's up to all of us to make sure they're written in our favor.